Chapter 10 of Extinction Stinks, A Dinosorcerer's Tale. Beyonc wasted little time in making preparations for the spell casting. He swept clear a space on his stone table where he laid the open spell book. He ushered Charlie to a spot where the boy would have a view of both the book and Beyonc's movements, and they were ready to begin. "Okay, follow my lead," Beyonc said, moving his hands slowly through the air just as Charlie had seen Quintus do. Charlie imitated the motions as best he could. The hand movements came easily enough, but Charlie had more fingers to contend with, and his extra 4 digits seemed only to be getting in the way when he watched how nimbly Beyonc sculpted the air. "Repeat the words you see in the book," Beyonc said. The handwriting was tall and thin, hard to read, and the words were in some Saurian language, but Charlie did his best. Hasim Sosoktha Kashla. Good. Now I want you to concentrate very hard on one of the dinosaurs you saw in my memory. The Triceratops, perhaps. Picture him clearly in your mind. Make a connection, but don't stop there. Go beyond how he looks. What is he like? How does he treat his friends? Does he ever skip breakfast? Would he help you move furniture into your new cave, or would he claim that he had a nagging horn injury? Charlie had to find a way to keep his hands performing the movements Beyonc had shown, chant the words written in the spellbook, and manage to ignore everything that Beyonc was saying. Charlie had no intention of reaching out to a Triceratops who skipped breakfasts in order to gorge himself during a meal he called lunkfast. Brunch wouldn't be invented for another 65 million years. No, Charlie fixed his mind instead on the only dinosaur who could provide the answers he sought. The only dinosaur other than Beyonc who was there when whatever happened, happened. Charlie thought of the Corythosaurus they called Osidore. He pictured Osidore clearly, and then he went deeper. He thought of Osidore's muted, almost non-existent response to the news of the meteor. What did it say about him that he was unfazed at the thought of their society being thrown into chaos and destruction? Charlie thought of how Osidore had acted as he walked amongst the other dinosorcerers practicing in the field of apple trees. There was a look in his eye. Was it jealousy? A feeling that he could do as much or more than the others, but something was holding him back. And Charlie remembered how he had looked at Beyonc in particular, younger and already more trusted by their master. Just then, Charlie thought, oh no. A mist had begun to form in the space between Charlie and Beyonc. Within that mist, a form was starting to take shape. It solidified into a tail, then legs from which bloomed a wide, scaly body. Beyonc continued to chant as he stared in astonishment at the figure beginning to materialize before him. "Beyonc, I think I made a mistake," Charlie shouted. Charlie stopped chanting, but he had lost control over his hands, which continued to sweep the air. Beyonc hadn't heard Charlie, preoccupied as he was with the success of the spell, but as the mist continued to take shape and revealed itself to be bipedal, standing on just 2 legs, Beyonc glanced over at Charlie with some concern, realizing that his apprentice hadn't strictly followed his instructions. "Charlie, did you misunderstand me?" "No," Charlie confessed. Now the neck was stretching out from its body. As a head began to sprout from the neck, a look of dawning alarm crossed Beyonc's face, and he dove across the cave, tackling Charlie and rolling with the boy in his arms behind a table. Beyonc pushed a finger to his flat lips to indicate that Charlie needed to remain silent. From under the table, Charlie saw a tail and wide, taloned feet, more solid than the mist, but still not quite there. The ghostly Corythosaurus took a few tentative steps around the cave, testing his new body. The feet passed close enough to the table for Charlie to notice the scratches and nicks in his toe claws. Charlie and Beyonc were frozen in place. They heard a sniffing noise like a dog searching out a scent. Then, from right above them, came a low growl. "Hello, Beyonc. What took you so long?"